everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Flor and I post new content here on this channel talking about life in New York City, talking about content creation, talking about planning and productivity, talking about books, and now with a baby on the way, I'm also talking a bit about pregnancy. If you're new here and if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell so you can be notified of every time I upload a new video every single week. Now on today's video, we are going to do a Q&A, a very casual, relaxed pregnancy Q&A. This is part 2. I did part 1, like a first Q&A video around 3 or 4 months ago. I was in my second trimester of my pregnancy back then. I am now in my third trimester, closer to my due date, and I thought it would be a fun idea to pick another 5 questions, another of the things that you ask the most on my social media or whenever I put the sticker box on my stories, and tell you a bit about how my pregnancy is going, how everything is going around here. So with that being said, let's get started. One of the questions that I get asked the most, and that has probably been repeated for many months now, and I think I haven't talked about this on YouTube, is have you had any cravings? And I wanted to talk a bit about this because I feel like in movies and TV shows we see a lot about cravings. Like pregnant women have cravings, or people find out that they're pregnant because they are having certain cravings. And I'm not gonna say that this is untrue, but I feel like in reality, or at least in my case, I did not have that many cravings. Or let's put it another way. For many years, I've eaten the food that I've craved. For example, if I'm craving something salty rather than sweet, I would eat that. Or if I'm craving breakfast food and it's like 7 p.m., I would eat that. So I've been like guiding myself and the things I eat depending on what I'm craving. So maybe that's why I don't feel like that much has changed. But what I will say is that during the first trimester, most women, and this was my case as well, experience a lot of nausea, and a lot of the foods that you usually eat or that you usually like and enjoy, they make you feel nauseous or they make you throw up. So for example, there was like 1 or 2 weeks during the first trimester where I was mostly eating strawberries. And yes, I was craving strawberries, but I was mostly craving them because it was basically like the only food that didn't make me feel nauseous and didn't make me feel like throwing up. So strawberries were like the magic food. But I don't know if it was like a craving or something like out of necessity, like it's the only thing that I can stomach, so I'm gonna go for that. So I would say it's like a mix, or maybe this is like just my experience, but I wanted to share like a bit about this like whole cravings thing. So another question that I get asked a lot is, how did our family and our friends find out about the pregnancy and if we did something special? So as you might know, both my husband and I, we live here in New York City, but we are both originally from Argentina, and most of our family and friends live back there in Argentina. So when we found out that we were pregnant, and after a certain time had passed when we felt it was safe to share the news with other people, we were thinking, what are we going to do? Are we going to do anything special? Traveling to Argentina to share the news in person was really not a choice for us, was not something that we had in the books, but we kind of wanted like the people closest to us to find out in person, not really in person, but virtually, but maybe not through a text. So what we did is that we video called my parents, my sister, my grandparents, who are going to be great grandparents for the first time in their lives, and my husband also called sister. So I feel like the people like closest to us, they found out through this video calls, and we tried to keep it a surprise during the call as much as possible. I think that we managed to surprise them. No one was really expecting the news, so there were like good and nice surprises. But then we had like a bunch of other people that we wanted to share the news with, and we knew that if we call them like out of the blue, it would give too much away. So with some people, we decided to share the news through a photo and through a text and share the news that we were pregnant that way. And I feel like one way or the other, everyone was really happy when they found out. It's going to be like the first baby on some sides of the family. There have not been babies for many, many years. And some people becoming grandparents for the first time, or great grandparents, or uncle grandparents. I don't know how you say that, like something like that. So I feel like everyone was really, really excited with the news. Another question that I got asked quite a lot is, was this something that was planned? And something related to that was, how did you know that you were ready? So I chose to answer these two together because I feel like they are somehow like related. And I would say, first of all, that yes, this was something that was planned. You have to know that I wouldn't say that this happens for everyone, but when you're in your 30s, like our case, like mid 30s, and you've been together for quite a while, and as I mentioned in my previous pregnancy Q&A video, I think this is something that you talk about at some point. And as I said there, I think it's something that you should talk sooner rather than later with your partner to see if you two are in the same headspace and in the same path, and if you want the same things. And in our case, it was something that we talked. We have known each other for almost 8 years at this point, or 8 years, yeah, I think around 8 years at this point. So we've been through our like 20s or late 20s, early 30s, and it is something that we talked about, that we thought like when it could happen, or if we wanted it to happen, or how we wanted it to happen. So yes, definitely plan on that regard. And not only that, but I feel like bringing a new life into the world and bringing a baby into anyone's lives, I wouldn't say that it should always be planned, because a lot of things can happen, but it is something that is going to change your life. It's something that is going to change your routines. It's something that it is expensive one way or the other. It's like someone else that you have to be planning for, someone else that it's going to have needs, and another person that you will have to buy things for. So I feel like if you want to have children at some point, it's better to plan it, and for it to be something that you discuss with your partner if you have a partner, or that you plan for it yourself if you choose to do it yourself, because it is going to change your life whether you like it or not. So if it's planned, I think it's better that way. And related to that, this second question that was like, when did you know that you were ready? I feel like the most honest answer would be that you're never ready. I feel like for most like big changes in your life, you're never really truly ready. Like you're probably not ready to get married or start a family, or maybe move to another country, start a new job, start university. It's like big changes in your life. I don't know if you're ever really ready. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it, you know? If we were always ready for the next step in life, life would be boring, would be very predictable, would be very monotonous, you know? Like it wouldn't have thrill. So even though I think that planning on having a baby or children in general is a great idea, I don't know if you are ever like truly ready, or if you are like, okay, I would like this to happen, I do have the means to make it happen right now, and I want it to happen, I know how it would like change my life, and I am willing for that to happen. And then you're scared at the same time, and you are nervous, and you're like, I don't know, this is like maybe too much. Are we ready? Is it like the correct time? And it's, you never know, and you're never truly ready, and there might never be like a right time for these things to happen. But if you are willing to adapt, if you're willing to change, if you have planned for the emergencies, if you have planned for this change to happen in your life, I think all those things mean that you are in a way ready, and that you're like in the best position that you could be, even if it's not the best but it is what it is, and you are as ready as you could be. I hope my answer makes sense. I think it got very philosophical at one point, but I hope I got my message through. And now moving on to the last two questions that I wanted to answer, and that again were asked quite a lot. The first one is, are you going to show your baby on social media? I think this question is a really good one, to be honest, and I think it's something that not only have I asked myself, but I feel like in a way I have wondered that about any person that I follow on social media that has become pregnant or is like planning on having kids, just because I would love to know like their answer or their opinions. And the most honest answer would be, I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot of things changing, of course, as I mentioned before. And I would say like I'm not thinking about the whole like social media part of it all, but I don't know. I feel like it's something that I will see how I feel about it as time passes and how both my husband and I feel about it. We haven't really talked about it a lot, like, okay, we are going to do this or we have this plan. But as of right now, and with my baby not being born yet, I would think that I would probably show bits and pieces of the baby. That sounded creepy, like this is a leg, this is an arm, but you get my point. Like I will probably show my baby on social media, but I don't think that it's going to be like their face like all over the place, like in all of my videos or in all of my posts on Instagram or stories. I'm not saying that there's like a right way to do this and like a wrong way to do this. I know that there's people that when their babies are born, they kind of like take over their accounts, and instead of like seeing photos or videos of their parents on Instagram, you start seeing more and more of their kids. And I don't know which is like the way to go. I feel like what you, and if you have a partner, what you think is the best is probably going to be for the best. I know there are like risks when you show kids on social media, when you show or share like certain photos or videos, and I am aware of that, and I will try to be as responsible as possible when it comes to that. But I don't know, at the same time I'm like, this is how I'm feeling right now, and this is what I feel like doing right now, and maybe in 2 months or 3 or 4 months this will change. So I don't know, as of right now I would say that I'll probably show some parts of my baby's life and some photos, some videos, but probably not a lot, because that's like what makes sense to me right now, or that's what I feel is best for their growth and their development. But I don't know, the truth is that I don't know, and I think time will tell, and we'll see with my husband what we feel comfortable doing and how we feel comfortable like sharing our kids' life on social media, considering that they are too young to have any opinions on it, and considering that I wouldn't say like a huge audience, but I do have an audience, and I do have people that follow me that I've never met in my life and that I know nothing about, and I have an account that is public. It's not that it's private, so anyone can like check it out even if they don't follow me. So I don't know, I think there are like lots of things to consider and lots of things to think about that we haven't like taken one decision at this point, but I think we'll see how things go. TBD. And the fifth and last question that I wanted to answer today is very related to the previous one, and I think it was a great question, and that's why I've chosen to answer this. And it's, do you think your account is going to change when your baby is born, and do you think you will switch into a maternity account and give tips about being a mother? So I think this is a great question for like two reasons. First of all, I think out of curiosity, I might wonder that about the people I follow and that become mothers, and you might like wonder that about me as well. But I think it's also a good question because we all see a lot of accounts that were, I don't know, fashion accounts or beauty accounts or food accounts, and when these people become parents, especially I feel like with women and women become mothers, these accounts change a lot and they switch almost like 100% towards being more of maternity accounts. So again, I feel like there are no right or wrong answers here. I feel like there's like not a right way of handling your social media account when you become a mother, or a wrong way of doing so, as long as I mentioned before, you try to keep your kids and your children as safe as possible from all the challenges and all the things that can derive from social media. But leaving that aside, I feel like whatever comes more natural to you, whatever comes more true, more real to you, is probably going to be the best answer. Personally, I don't see my account becoming a maternity account. Again, I'm saying this now, being pregnant, and maybe in a year you will be like, you remember what you said and you see your account right now? I don't know. It's like the future is like unwritten, but as of right now, I really don't see my content in my account becoming just maternity, in the same way that I feel like it's not like everything like pregnancy focused at the moment, or that it has not really been focused on like anything in particular during all these years. So I started my blog back in 2010, so over 12 years ago. And since I started my blog, lots of things have changed in my personal life. So I started it right after I graduated from law school, and as I was getting one of my first jobs as a lawyer, and I was dating someone, and I was dating someone else, then I got married, I moved countries again. I started like focusing more on my skincare, just because I was like getting older and getting like more interested in that. And then at some point I was like more interested in makeup. I was learning to do more things that had to do with makeup. I've always liked movies and TV shows. I've always loved traveling. And I feel like in my account, you've seen all of these things like come together, and I've shared like a bit of everything, because the account is more like me and my life rather than a certain topic, even though I know that you are supposed as a content creator to niche down and talk about certain things. And when people ask you what you talk about on your account, you should have some idea. I feel like my account, it's mostly like lifestyle. And when I say lifestyle, it's like not portraying the perfect lifestyle, but rather than that, just showing what my life is like, with the good and the bad and the ups and the downs. So I feel like in the future, I will probably be sharing things and tips and my experience as a mother. I'm guessing that you will probably see which stroller we have and whether we like it or not, or if we recommend it, or which crib we have, or how is traveling with an infant like, and things like that, or how to, I don't know, deal with like certain like struggles, or doing the paperwork for an infant when they're born in a country where their parents are not from, getting a passport, like things like that. I feel like I'll probably share that and share things that I find could be useful for someone else, or share reviews on products or services or things that we use. But I don't think that I will like stop talking about fashion, which is something that I'm really passionate about, or not traveling anymore because of a baby, or not talking about skincare or makeup or the things I like, the TV shows I like. So I feel like maternity and being a mother and having a kid is going to be like a new topic that I will be talking about on my account, and that I will try to be as real and raw and honest as possible, as I always try to be, and share what my experience is like, and share what I enjoy or what I prefer or what I recommend. But I really don't see like my whole account becoming all about being a mother, or becoming all about my children, like, I don't know, all photos of my children and no photos of my face or the city or things like that. But again, I think that we'll see. I don't have like a magic ball, and I'm guessing you don't have it either. So we, both you and I, will see what happens, and we'll see what the future holds, and what my account and what my social media and my platforms end up becoming maybe in a year from now. So I think it's like a good thing, you know, to like be able to see what the future holds without knowing what the future holds. And maybe in a year from now, like end of 2023, like do a Q&A and revisit this one and see where we're at and see what happened. And yeah, we'll see how things go. And I really hope like you are happy to join me for the ride for this like new part of my life, this new era, this new challenges. And yeah, and see how my account and my content moves and evolves and changes. And yeah, we'll like work through it along the way. So yeah, that is everything for today's video. These are the 5 questions that you sent in, that you asked the most, and that I selected because I wanted to talk about this. And if you have any other questions, you can always leave them down below in the comments. If they're like short things, I will try to do my best to answer them in the comments, or I can answer them in an upcoming video. And you can always send in your questions through my Instagram stories. On Mondays I usually do weekly Q&As, but I usually put up Q&A stickers every once in a while, also sharing that I will be doing this YouTube video. So if you have like any specific questions, you can send them through those stickers as well. That is it for today's video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoy this, like, as I mentioned, relaxed, chatty, honest Q&A. If you liked it, and if you're not subscribed already, it would be a huge help for me if you would hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell so you can know whenever I release a new video. That is it for today. I will see you on the next one. Bye.